Let's turn that corner pantry into a beautiful Butlers style pantry. Let's get building our base cabinet frame. You've planned, designed, and prepared, and you're ready to start cutting your wood and assembling your base cabinet. If you still don't have a plan, please don't worry, just check out our planning guide here to find out how. The link to our free cut list and rip list is in the description below. The great thing about our cut list and rip list is you can either make the cuts at home or bring the rip and cut list to your local lumber store where they can do the cuts for you. Often they'll do some of the cuts for free, and that's one of our top tips, having the lumber store make the first few cuts as they're usually free and it makes the large pieces of plywood easier to manage at home. If you're getting all of your cuts done at the lumber store, you can go ahead and jump ahead in the video. Remember to have pieces cut for the number of shells that you would like to make. If you're going to make the cuts at home, here's a list of all the tools that you will need in order to do so. So grab your cut and rip lists and let's get started. The free printables, including a diagram of how to lay out the cuts on your plywood sheet. We recommend waiting to cut your center stiles and the back to length until you've built the main part of the box, and we'll let you know when that is later. So let's head to the shop and cut up your wood. So just follow your rip list and make all the cuts and rips necessary to have all the pieces that you need. Remember to take into account the blade width and cut on the correct side of your measurement. Cut the pieces to the correct lengths as per your rip list and cut list, including the cuts needed to make the cutout in the left and right styles. We cut all 4 styles for both our left and right base cabinets at once. Use a good ruler and a square to mark the cutout of KP times R measurements. Then we head on over to our bandsaw and just cut it out. Ensure that you have good clamps if you're going to do it this way, and take your time. An extra set of hands is also a must if you're going to cut all 4 at once, as it gets quite heavy and awkward to maneuver. Remember, wait to cut the back and center stiles to length once the outside of the cabinet is assembled like this. Then you can cut them to an exact fit. The next top tip is to label all your pieces after they've been cut. This makes things so much easier. Now you can cross-reference your cut list and make sure you have everything except for the center stiles, back, and of course the shelves, which we will cut later. All right, let's build our base cabinet frame. We've made all the cuts. We're ready to put all our pieces together. The first step in our assembly is to drill the pocket holes. In this schematic, we show exactly where we drilled the pocket holes. You're just going to want to make sure that the pocket holes are on the same side at the top and the bottom of each piece. The right and left styles, the pocket holes are only on the outside of the style. We are not sponsored by Kreg at all, but we have to say that using the Kreg 720 Pro pocket hole jig in order to create our pocket holes and attach all our pieces together was such a breeze and a pleasure to use. It comes with a built-in stop so you know how deep to drill, and for this we just drilled one on the right and one on the left for each piece. And really one of my favorite things is you can attach it to your shop vac, so there's literally no mess at all to clean up. Then simply flip the piece over and drill the same thing on the right and the left on the same side of the piece. And here you can see the beautiful, clean, angular pocket holes made on the same side of the piece. Step 2 in our assembly is one of our little tricks that we do for every project, and that's to label the order of assembly. So you'll grab your left and right styles and lay them down with the insides facing up. And don't worry, this diagram plus the order of assembly is in our free printable PDF. Step 3 is to assemble following the order of assembly. The first step we're going to take is to attach the front top rail number 1 to the left style with the pocket screws. We use 1 1/4 inch pocket screws from Kreg. If you lay down your left and right styles the way we show you in the diagram, it's quite simple to follow along. We like to clamp down our piece of wood with a scrap wood so it aligns perfectly straight with the edge of the style. The next thing we do is to attach the back top rail number 2 to the left style with pocket screws again. Here you can see this is the back top rail sitting on the left style. And just simply secure it with the pocket screws, always ensuring that you check that it's flush with the top edge. Next, we simply rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise in order to have better access to attach the back cross rail number 3 to the left style with pocket screws. So once again, we use clamps and a piece of wood to ensure that all the edges are aligned. And then simply attach the back cross rail with our pocket screws and drill. Make sure to check when you're finished attaching the pieces that the edges are flush. Once again, we rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise so that the bottom is facing you, and attach the front bottom rail number 4 to the left style with the pocket screws. Now flip it 90 degrees onto the back. The front will now be facing up, and we found that placing it on 2 wooden braces really helps to access the screw holes. Next, we're going to attach the front and back top rails 1 and 2 to the right style. Using large clamps makes attaching the right style a breeze. We'll attach a link to these clamps that we love in the description below. These are Jorgensen cabinet clamps, and we are not in any way affiliated with this company. We just love the clamps. So now walk around to the opposite side, which is the bottom, and we're going to attach the front bottom rail number 4 to the right style. And you can see that this is where the kick plate cutout is on our stiles. So just simply attach it with the pocket screws and ensure it's flush, and then flip it 180 degrees again with the back facing up. Then we're going to attach the back cross rail number 3 to the right style. We highly recommend keeping the clamps on at this point, as it really does make a huge difference to ease of assembly. Remove your clamps and flip it 180 degrees with the front facing up. Now we're going to attach the kick plate number 5 to both the right and the left stiles. Here we're just showing the fit. You do not need to flip it again. And once again, these large cabinet clamps are going to be your best friend. And here in the side view, you can see where the pocket holes have been drilled on the side. Now this kick plate is also called the front cross rail. So flip it now to stand it upright on the base with the back facing your work area, and then we're going to attach the back bottom rail number 6 to both the right and the left stiles. You can use a rubber mallet to be able to gently nudge this back bottom rail into place, as it might be tight. We found using 2 of the base supports supports the bottom back rail to make it easier to keep it flat and flush while you're attaching the bottom back rail with the pocket hole screws. Next, we're going to attach the base supports, and we recommend that you use some wood scraps and cut as many base supports as you feel you need. At least 2, but we use 7 on the back, 3 in the middle, 2 on each side, and then 3 in the front. This will just help keep those rails even. So just drill them in with regular screws to secure them in place. You can also screw them together first, and then in the back you'll need to countersink the screws. And this is so that they won't be in any way interfering with the wall or with your drawers if you're using drawers. The next step is to add our center stiles, which are our separators. So measure the exact height for the center stiles, which we've labeled T, and then head on over to your shop and cut the center stiles to length. Or you can do this at the hardware store. Drill 8 pocket holes on both center stiles as per the plan. There are many ways, of course, to attach the different pieces in the base cabinet. We found this tool is absolutely indispensable. It has saved us so much time and energy and is just so easy to use. So this is what your center stiles will look like. Then you're going to slide those stiles into place, making sure that the pocket holes are both facing the inside. Measure and position your center stiles as per your plan. So adjust the position of the center stiles to the width Y. Then we're going to cut the back to the exact measurement. So head on to your shop and cut that back piece to T times Y to the exact size that you've measured, and then dry fit it with the center stiles in place. Take your back piece and drill 8 pocket holes as per our diagram. And you can see how quick and easy this is. Seriously, it is the easiest tool to use, and we absolutely love it. So just make sure that you're drilling all the pocket holes on one side of the back piece. And this is what it will look like. So now dry fit it again back into place with the pocket holes on the back, and measure to double check the width of the drawer. cross-referencing your original plan. Once again, clamping is going to be your best friend. Position the back and the center style, and then you may want to add a second piece like we did in order to hold that into place in the front as well, providing a little more stability. Then just simply attach it with your pocket screws. You'll need to remove the clamps once you've attached a few, and then you'll be able to finish securing. Then rotate it 180 degrees so that the back is facing you and secure the back with the pocket screws. Ensure the back is square with the sides, so use a rubber mallet if you need to adjust it at all. And once again, our clamps are going to come in handy dandy just to ensure that it stays flush as you're screwing in the last pocket hole screws. Now we're ready to build the shelves, the base, and as many shelves as you'd like to add. So we're going to make sure that we measure Y and F, our width and our depth of our shelf. Then you're going to go ahead and cut those pieces. You will need a little bit extra wood depending on how many shelves you want. A quick and easy way to measure the exact length is just to throw the shelf in there and draw a line.
That's the eraser.
Now just take them and cut them to the right length. And cross-reference your cut list again. Everything should now be cut. The next step is to add the shelves into our base cabinet frame. Ensure that the shelves are all flush with the front of the base cabinet frame. Then you need to decide at what height you want to put your other shelves. We decided we wanted to be able to fit a large pan. Now just mark the desired shelf height and drill those pocket holes in. You'll only need 2 for this. Insert the shelf and ensure it's level with a clamp to help secure it. Then attach it to the base cabinet with the pocket screws. To secure it in the front, you'll need to measure and mark the middle shelf height on both sides. Then pre-drill 2 holes and secure it with screws. And don't worry if you make a mistake like we did with the measuring. It doesn't matter, this will all be hidden anyways. Then just repeat on the outside and make sure it's secure. Our next step is to add the second center stile and the cross rails. So slide the second center stile and align it with the first one. And then secure it with clamps. Make sure it's properly aligned with the base and square with the base. Then secure it with the pocket screws. Save tons of time by pre-inserting the pocket screws and then just quickly going around and securing them. Our bottom shelf fits perfectly tightly and doesn't move, but you can secure it if you need by using wood glue, brad nails, or pocket screws from below like we did with the shelves. Now we're going to position the back bottom cross rail using clamps and scrap wood to assist with the alignment. Just secure them with pocket screws like we did with everything else. And now for the final piece in the base cabinet frame, we're going to place our screws and clamp to secure the top back cross rail. Then you need to secure that piece to the top cross rail. So we just pre-drilled a hole and then recessed a regular screw. And that's it, you're done, your base cabinet frame, and you are ready to install it into your pantry, build your finishing pieces. Coming up next, we'll show you how we installed and finished our base cabinet frame. Please like and subscribe to our channel to find out when our next video comes out.